What's up, Pokey Sluts, and welcome back. Today is going to be a little bit of a shorter video for you guys. I have two RU battles for you today, so I hope you enjoy. If you do, please leave an old thumbs up or a thumbs down if you didn't like it. But if you didn't like it, well, fuck you. Anyways, my Druddigan is going to be a pretty good start here, I think. I don't really know what to expect. Maybe a Rotom lead, possibly the Combuskin. I don't really know what to expect. And he does end up going into the Combuskin. I'm gonna set up Stealth Rocks because wow, he's actually special. I kind of expected him to be a physical attacker. That kind of changes things. Um, I guess my Gastrodon can switch in pretty easily though. This is the Assault Vest Gastrodon, so it should be able to eat up a Focus Blast pretty well. And I could just fire off a Scald. He's probably gonna switch into Rotom, but that's not really much of a switch in. Or the Alomomola, I'm not really sure. Um, but I'm just gonna fire off a Scald in case he wants to stay in for whatever reason. And I guess he has Hidden Power Grass. Um, that's okay. I ate it up anyway. He didn't really do much to me. Um, he was Life Orb, I believe. So, but yeah, I I guess I like this team a lot. The Jolteon is a lot of fun to use, and the Emboar and Drapion they're my main attackers on the team, and I have a pretty good defensive core, so it's a pretty well balanced team. And now my Gastrodon doesn't really have a whole lot of use, so I'm just gonna sack it to this thing. Um, I'm pretty sure it would have gone down to anything. But I'm gonna go into my Emboar because I believe he is Life Orb. Is it Life Orb? I don't know. But all I know is this is Choice Scarfed Emboar, so I can definitely outspeed it and get a nice superpower off. I was expecting the switch into Alomomola there, but I guess he didn't I guess he didn't fancy saving his Exploud too much. And now my Jolteon can pretty much switch in for free. I don't really care if he wants to fire off a Scald. Um, but I can also go into my Drapion and set up. Because I don't really want to lose my Jolteon just yet. I think that's going to be my win condition. Along with Emboar, obviously. So I don't want to keep my Emboar in. And I'm going to try to set up an attempt to sweep from here, but I don't think I will be able to. It's probably not likely that I'll be able to sweep with this thing, but I'm going to try. The Scald doesn't do a whole lot. He gets a burn off, unfortunately, but that's not that big of a deal. And I'm going to knock off this thing's leftovers. It should do a decent amount. I'm not quite sure. I'm guessing somewhere around 50 since it is stab. It actually, holy shit. Wow, that does nothing. I'm just gonna toxic this thing if he wants to stay in, which he does. Whatever. And I can just continue to set up, which I think I'm gonna have to, or just switch out here. I don't really know. Yeah, I'm just gonna go into my Jolteon. I can take a Scald. Hopefully it doesn't burn. But I should. This should scare him out. I think I'm pretty safe just going for a T-Bolt though. And this thing won't appreciate it. Wow, really? Must be, this is Spadef? I don't know, I feel like that is Spadef. Rotom. So I'm gonna go into my Drapion, I guess. I don't really have much of a choice. I definitely need my Jolteon to get rid of the Alamomola. That thing's gonna be very annoying. My Claydol is pretty weak here too. So, what do I want to do? Well, let's see what he goes out into. He's going to bring out Alamomola. So I'm just going to go into Jolteon because I can just fire off a T-Bolt for free. No problem. And if he wants to stay in, he should go down to a T-Bolt. This is the Life Orb Jolteon. I believe it's Jolly, though. And he's going to go out into Escavalier. I think I just want to fire off a T-Bolt because my Emboar can pretty much win with Flare Blitz from here. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to try and T-Bolt this thing. It definitely shouldn't appreciate it. It's probably Assault Vest, though, so if that's the case, it won't hit it for that much. Yeah, I'm guessing by that damage it's probably Assault Vest. And I'm going to try to fire off another one, maybe get a crit. I don't, though. And I will go down to the drill run here, obviously. So now I think I just want to go into my Claydol and sack it, I guess, is the play to make. And try and fire off an Earthquake or something. Or, no, I'm going to try and get him to get some Rocky Helmet damage off on him. Try to Mega Horn my Drudigan. I think that would work. Let's see if it works out. Oh, unfortunately he misses. That's alright. We'll just stay in and might as well just power up punch. And I end up being faster, which I didn't really expect. It's a bit weird. Well, this thing's gonna come out. This is definitely should be physical. I don't know how much a power-up punch is gonna do at +1, but I'm gonna go for it. I should probably go down anyway, which is fine. Because of the rough skin Rocky Helmet damage, obviously. I'm glad to get that off on this thing. And I believe it is Life Orb. If my Claydol ends up being faster, it should go down to an EQ. It should go down. Yeah. I think it'll go down to an EQ, but I might want to set up some Calm Minds. No, I'm just going to go for an EQ because my Emboar can win from here anyway. I'm not really worried about it at all. And luckily I don't go down to the Sucker Punch. Yeah, he is Life Orb. But he will go down to the EQ there. Quite obviously. And this thing, glad I got the Toxic off on it. Wouldn't really have mattered anyway because obviously my Emboar can just destroy this thing. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be the first match. If you guys have enjoyed this video so far, leave a thumbs up. Comment down below, let me know that you enjoy what you see. And yeah, I'm going to take you guys on over to the next match now. What's up, guys, and welcome on over to the second battle here. My opponent's team looks pretty freaking scary, but I think I can pull out a win here. My Gastrodon is actually going to be pretty important. It's actually going to be pretty tough to take out this whole team, but my Emboar does do a lot here. I think my Emboar pretty much wins it for me. But the Tyrantrum's really scary, the Scrafty's really scary. So, with that being said, we're just going to lead off with Dredigan again. He's usually my lead on this team, just because I can pretty much set up rocks on anything with the dragon typing, and how high his physical defenses are. So I'm just going to go for the stealth rocks and see if I can maybe get some Rocky Helmet, rough skin damage off on this Steelix. But I'm sure he's going to set up his own rocks, as unfortunately he earthquakes. Bit unfortunate. But I'm just going to Dragon Tail him out, because I am faster. What? Okay, I was faster. I guess we had a speed tie. And I just end up dragging him out into the old Scrafty. This thing is a pretty big threat. But I'm just going to stay in because I want to get some rough skin damage off on him, like I said. Some of that Rocky Helmet damage. And it's okay to lose Dredigan there. He's not that big of a deal. He has the Tyrantrum, so I don't really have too much. Well, I don't know. It would have been nice to keep him around, but oh well, what can you do? And I can definitely scare him out with this Emboar and fire off a superpower for free. He may want to go and do his Jellicent though, which I'm kind of predicting, so I may just want to try and fire off a Flare Blitz, but I don't really have to out-predict right now, so I'm just going to go for the superpower and see if he wants to bring in the Jellicent. And, yeah, we'll see. He may even want to bring in Torkoal, I don't know. And he ends up staying in, not quite sure why. That Scrafty was definitely a big threat, for sure, but as you can see, his rating is very low. Not that I have the best rating or anything, but just so you can see where I'm at on the ladder at this point. And he's going to bring out the Tyrantrum. This thing definitely doesn't want to eat up a superpower, but I don't really want to hit it at -1. So I think I just want to bring out my Drapion. I don't really have much else for a physical wall anymore besides Dredigan, which is obviously down. And that's wouldn't really have helped me out too much anyway with this Tyrantrum because he has Outrage. So I don't really have anything that wants to take an Outrage. So I guess I'm just going to sack this Drapion. And I end up being faster and I get to knock off his Choice Band, which is definitely nice. Thankfully he doesn't have the Lumberry. And now I can just fire off a superpower pretty much. Again, I think that's probably... Or no, I can fire off a Scald. I think that's probably my better play here. Or even an Ancient Power. Actually, you know what? Let's just go into the Emboar. And probably fire off a Flare Blitz. I doubt he's going to stay in. And I'm sure he's probably going to want to go into his Jellicent. Yep, he does. So we can get a bit of damage off on him. Thankfully, we get the crit there. That's pretty nice. So I'm just going to go for a Flare Blitz again. It might not kill, but that's not that big of a deal. My Gastrodon and Claydol do pretty good from here. But yeah, I'm just going to go into my Jolteon because that's kind of stupid to potentially sack my Emboar, but he ended up switching out, so I probably should have stayed in. But oh well, what can you do? I think I'm just going to fire off a Thunderbolt. I don't care if he switches into Steelix, and he is just going to stay in and sack this thing. That is fine by me for sure. That thing was definitely a little bit of a threat. I do have the Gastrodon, but that's not really. It's AV. It's not really a good switch in for that at all. It's not really a Tyrantrum switch in, if you know what I mean. And now I can pretty much just sack my Gastrodon, I guess. Go into this on this Heavy Slam or whatever he wants to do. He ends up going for the Crunch. I guess expecting my Clay Doll. But I am just going to go ahead and fire off a Scald. See if I can get a burn. I don't know if I can live much from this, but he's going to bring out the Jellicent. And I should have seen that one coming. But it's not that big of a deal. And, yeah, I'm just going to fire off an old Sludge Bomb and try to get a poison off. But Sludge Bomb does literally nothing to this thing. I definitely have to T-Bolt it, so I'm pretty free to switch into my Jolteon. And unfortunately gets the burn off. But it's not that big of a deal. I don't really plan on keeping this thing in. And I'm going to go ahead and Shadow Ball on the Steelix switch in, expecting that. If he does that, that's fine by me. If not, this Shadow Ball should do a decent amount. And it does semi-decent, but I get the Spadef drop nicely. And thankfully I survived the Hex there. So I'm just gonna Shadow Ball again, I guess. In case he wants to switch out into Steelix again, like I said. I definitely don't want to risk not getting any damage off. And he's going to bring in the Jolteon. This will do a decent amount. Definitely a decent amount. And I can pretty much go into my Clay Doll on this thing. Because I don't want to bring out Emboar in case it's Scarfed. Or I can go into my Gastrodon potentially as well. But I'm just going to go into my Clay Doll. I think that's the better play, and I'm going to try and set up some Calm Minds here. And potentially sweep late game with my Clay Doll. This isn't a very common thing to run on Clay Doll, so it's pretty cool to use. You can definitely catch people off guard if you're running the Calm Mind. And the dual stab. The Psychic and Ground stab works out nice. I have no idea why I have Earthquake on this. I should have Earth Power, obviously. But, oh well. I'll have to change that. And this thing's going to come out. I will probably go down to a Hex. But I just want to get some Psychic damage off if I can. I don't know if I'm going to outspeed or not. And I do outspeed, which is nice. And, yeah, this thing should go down to a Sucker Punch. And if he wants to switch out, and I'm fine with that, I can just go out into my Gastrodon after this. After I'm locked into Sucker Punch on the Steelix or the Torkoal, it doesn't really matter. And then I can just lock myself into Superpower, I think, and that should do the trick. I don't know how well Torkoal is going to eat up some Superpowers, but I'm guessing pretty well, as well as the Steelix, so hopefully I can get some damage off, maybe get a burn off on this thing. And the Earthquake does a hell of a lot. So hopefully I get a burn off here. Hopefully. Please burn, please. And wow, that does way more than I expected it to. And unfortunately, I do not get the burn off. But from that range, he should go down to a Superpower. I don't really want to lock myself into that, as it does have the stat drop. But I can't really go for a Rock Slide or the Flare Blitz on the Torkoal. I don't want to risk losing too much health from recoil, so I guess I'm just going to have to lock myself into superpower. I think that's the play. I probably will end up losing anyway because I think a lot of times Torkoal packs an Earthquake. Or an Earth Power or something. But I guess we'll have to see. Especially with the defense drop. I hope he doesn't have the Earthquake. But I'm going to fire off some superpowers and see what I can do. Hopefully I can win this one. And that does nothing. It's going to take a few. And he does have the Fire Blast. I don't think I'll go down to one of those, but I could be wrong. And yeah, we just have to... How much? Oh yeah. I think I should be able to stall him with this. I don't know why. He must be locked into this. It must be this is all he has, but thanks Satan for that. And I do get a crit. Not sure if that mattered. I think I would have outstalled him. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, like I said, please leave a thumbs up and show your support. And I'll have more Pokemon videos coming out to you guys soon. Peace out. Please subscribe.